Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Recently, Bungie held a developer open house where they basically took to the forums to answer burning questions from Destiny fans. They answered a variety of questions ranging from topics about the current game, exotics, events, Crucible, etc, and even a little bit about the future, albeit in a non-specific manner. So while you won't get any House of Wolves details, it is still definitely worth listening to some of these. So let's go. First up, let's begin with something that's clearly at the forefront of a lot of people's minds, especially if you've recently obtained it: Necrochasm. The question was, many think the Necrochasm is underpowered, considering how hard it is to get. Is everybody using it wrong, or will it get a buff? And in summary, the answer was that no, people aren't using it wrong. In fact, it functions exactly as designed. It has an 80% chance to trigger a Cursed Thrill style explosion upon successfully landing a headshot. And it's also achieved the goal of being a unique weapon unlike anything else you can get in the game. However, that being said, Bungie did agree that competitively it is nowhere near as strong as the Mythoclast, or any highly used auto rifle for that matter. So what they did say is that a while back they did a pass on a load of exotics aiming to improve a lot of them. You may remember when Thorn got a buff and all things like that, and they did say that it's highly likely they'll do another one of these in the future, which means Necrochasm could well get the buff it so rightly deserves. Also, they did state that despite what people thought recently, the Necrochasm did not get a ninja buff in the recent 1.1.1 update. Remaining on the topic of exotics, next up, No Land Beyond. The question, or statement really, was buff No Land Beyond, it's the most useless exotic ever. They said that this weapon was built with a very specific playstyle in mind: fast sniping, run and gun, quick scope, precision shots at close range. It is primarily a PvP playstyle weapon, and Bungie wanted to provide players who like playing in this way with an option. That being said, for players who don't play like this, it's next to useless. So once again, it could well get some much needed love in a future exotic weapon balancing patch, but for now, perhaps everybody has just been using it wrong. Then the question arose asking how we'll be able to upgrade our current exotic weapons up to the new damage cap when House of Wolves came out. Will it be the same system as the Dark Below? And the answer, albeit short, was quite simply, it will not be the same system, and we'll explain this in detail before we drop House of Wolves so you know the details. So while that doesn't actually answer the question, it is a relief to hear we won't have to do it all over again. Then, if you're a PlayStation player, then a question arose with regards to the most recent Dark Below exclusive weapon, the Fourth Horseman. Why did its rate of fire get lowered? Bungie answered that they playtested the wider game before the patch was released, and the stats for this weapon were incorrectly modified. They are working on fixing it and restoring it to its former glory as soon as possible. Leading on from there, the next question asked was, can we please get an explanation as to why you can't separate PvP and PvE for weapon buffs and nerfs in general? The answer was that in Destiny, the goal is to allow you to make a character that can transcend all activities and modes. They want you to be able to play a bit of everything, find your favourite loadouts and use them wherever you go. They also want to make sure that Destiny feels like Destiny no matter where you go, so they don't want to establish a clear divide between PvP and PvE players. That being said, there will be occasions where this is possible. See the recent patch where shotguns got a much needed PvE buff. Then next up, why does the Hunter throwing knife not one-shot while the Titan's shoulder charge does? The short answer is the throwing knife has a longer range and keeps you out of harm's way, but also the shoulder charge is different. It's a bonus move and it's not the Titan's melee upgrade. Then on the topic of Crucible, the question was asked, right now we have Control, Team Deathmatch, 6v6, 3v3 and every man for themselves. It's a bit redundant with no new game types. Do you plan on adding any more? Yes is the answer. For Destiny's launch, they were focused on delivering a small set of solid game types that they believed in, but the future will hold more. So stay tuned is what they said. Following on from that, the upcoming Inferno Crucible playlist that drops for the first time tomorrow, it was asked if this could become more permanent. Bungie said that there is always a chance it could become permanent depending on how well it's received. The advantage of debuting a mode like this in a rotational playlist is that if people love it, they know to add more, but if nobody plays it, then they know they have some work to do. So in short, if you want it to stick around, then make sure you get all your friends playing it. Next up, will we ever get to see true objective modes? And the answer was maybe someday. The real answer is that the initial collection of modes were designed to promote teamwork without putting undue pressure on one player. There's no way for one person to lose a game instantly the way that say a bad flag runner could in CTF. But as Destiny evolves, they will add more complexity and variety to game types. The next one has sort of been answered already, but why can't all the game modes like doubles and salvage be playable at all times? And again, the reason for this is twofold. They want to ensure that they always have a great matchmaking experience while testing things in a limited time frame to see if people actually like them. And then also for variety, so that way they can rotate different modes in and out like the upcoming Inferno. And once again, with Inferno just around the corner, the question came up about the third eye perk. The one that where you have it and you look down your sights, the radar remains active. It was asked that in a game mode with no radar, does this make the perk redundant? And in short, yes. While they appreciate the time and effort you put into the game to acquire all this gear, there are times when things and perks just simply won't be effective, and this is one such mode. Then next up we have, why are the Crucible rewards so sparse, given at random to players, seemingly always the worst players, and are more often than not of low quality or no use? They started by openly admitting that Crucible rewards are on the low side for sure, and they do intend to address this issue in a future update. But the rewards are supposedly random so as to encourage everyone in the game to play it to the end, rather than only the winner getting something out of it. Then someone asked if they could talk about the design intentions for Control in Crucible and offer some insight into the development of the game type. So, Control was designed as a light objective layer on top of a basic deathmatch function. Players who just want to kill and ignore their team can do so, but players who aren't confident in their gun skill can run bases and help their team by capping the zones. They wanted players to start out in Control because it's fun and it's very Destiny. Someone then said that Blink Strike and Shotguns is overpowered in PvP. So what is the SANDBOX team's thoughts on Blink Shotgun? Bungie said that the way that weapons and abilities combine is always being looked at, and they are aware that Blink Shotgun is crazy OP at times, but it's this playstyle that helped them settle on the range patch in the recent 1.1.1 update. They aren't saying the new patch prevents this, not at all, but it should help it a little bit. They also said that the Blink playstyle isn't something that everyone can master. Then, when asked if Iron Banner was something we would see in game types other than Control, Bungie simply stated it's something they are talking about internally. And then lastly, someone asked why Blade Dancers are so bad at producing orbs. And the answer to that was that Blade Dancers have other PvE benefits beside producing orbs that other supers just don't have. And that, my friends, is it. There you have it. There are the answers to some of your burning questions. There were a few more asked on the forums, but a lot of them asked similar things in different ways. So for the most part, this should be everything you need. There's actually a very handy Reddit thread that collates a lot of these questions and also has links to the actual forum posts, so I'll leave a link to that in the description box down below. But otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you're not already subscribed and not already part of the Arekkz Gaming Nation, then hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the answers to some of these questions, and once again, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.